Nós estamos na Cantillon. Como vocês podem perceber, não é a Cantillon normal, né? Não é a Cantillon que todo mundo conhece, onde está escrito na frente Cantillon e tu entra, tem o bar, né? Nós estamos, o nosso grupo da Expedição Cervejeira Bégica, através do nosso guia Kuaska, que é um grande amigo do Jean Van Roy, cervejeiro e blendador da Cantillon, nos trouxe na nova location da Cantillon, a nova Cantillon, onde ele guarda os outros barris da Cantillon. Então o nosso grupo teve a oportunidade e o privilégio de vir aqui dar uma olhada onde ele está guardando os outros barris de Cantillon. Realmente impressionante. Tudo barril da Cantillon. Lembrando que nós não estamos na Cantillon normal, nós estamos na Cantillon, na new location. Agora nós vamos falar com o Jean Van Roy, vai nos explicar um pouco sobre essa nova localização. Vamos lá, galera, vem pra cá.
So, welcome. I'm Jean Van Roy, the brewer. And so Lorenzo asked me to begin this visit by this building. So you are lucky because normally we don't open the doors of this building for visitors. We expand the brewery 2 years ago in October 14 with this building. So we bought this location to produce a bit more beer because the original building, the historical building, was totally full of beer and it was impossible for us to produce more. So the idea was to buy a new surface to brew more in the original building, and we transfer the wort in a plastic container like those one here in this building to let the beer ferment and mature here. This building has also an history because it's a very old one, built before 1840. We don't know the exact date, in between 1830 and 1840.
There's a lot of mystery about that brewery, eh?
And till 65 was used by Brasserie Lambic. The Brasserie Lambic was a blender. You know certainly what is a blender. It's someone who doesn't produce Lambic, doesn't brew Lambic, but the person blender buy wort to let it age and to produce his own blend, his own gueuse and fruit beer. The actual blenders are the Cam, Tilquin, Hansens. So it was a surprise for me because when I visited the building I didn't know nothing about the history, but I felt something, a soul in the building, and so I am very happy to have the possibility, the opportunity to buy it. With this building, we increased the production from 1,800 hectoliters to 2,700, 2,800, which is always a very small production, but which is a good production, not so bad for a real spontaneous fermentation brew. Because with this building, at the end of the season, to give an example, we had not so far from 1,600 full barrels, and we are working mainly with 400 and 500 liters barrels. So at the end of the season, we had here more than not so far from 6,000 hectoliters beer in our stores. It means more than twice the annual production. Okay, so let's go for a small visit.
You told me a very interesting thing. Next year we can have girls from.
Yes, next season. So in a Lambic brewery, a beer has 1 year after the summer, and in September we will have here in this place beer from 3 seasons, 2 seasons, 1 season. So I have to decide, but we could if we want, produce a goose with lambic only from matured here in this building, because we will have at our disposal lambic from 3 years, 2 years, and 1 year.
And we use our nose to check the difference.
So let's go for a small tour. We don't have very special things here except brandy barrels.
Oh, brandy
you know, we are working since more than 10 years with cognac barrels. We have there in this side brandy. We are making right now, we don't see it, an experiment with natural Italian winemaker, Cantina Giardino.
Aqui é de jardim, não?
No, certainly Cantina Giardino.
If you need a formational wine, Anna is perfect.
A thousand liter barrel, use it only once. It's a mix of chestnut and mulberry, if I remember. And we use a wort with sediment coming from a Greco.
Okay.
Greco is a typical grape.
Of the hundreds of Lambic brewery that closed the...
Agora estamos subidos para o segundo andar, é muito barril. É muito barril, ele dobrou a capacidade dele. Então, estamos ainda na nova location da Cantillon, onde o João Varrois abriu para nós justamente a pedido do Kuaska, para nos mostrar essa nova location dele.
Hanno fondato, diciamo, questo building, questa cosa, poi loro non si sa poco dell'epoca.
Typical soil from the old building, the old industrial building. It's to support more weight.
Yes. Vocês entenderam o porquê que ele é ondulado, o teto, o Jean falou? É justamente para poder aguentar mais peso, né? Para aguentar mais peso. Se a base é arcada, ele aguenta mais peso.
Cara, a fermentação é fodida, essa história tudo, você viu?
Tu não viu nada ainda, cara.
Eu vi umas bolhas tá pra fora, né? Tem uma folha lá embaixo, tá pra fora.
Se viu aqui, ela é nova. A construção é nova.
A construção é antiga. Antiga. 1830 e poucos. Todo mundo tá aí, Raul? Ah, não. Tá ali.
Okay.
So let's go for the last.
I will guide the visitor then.
Agora nós vamos pro último andar. Provavelmente o que vai ter ali vai ser mais barril, né? Não tinha como não ser. Então, nós estamos aqui na nova location da Cantillon, vendo os barris. Vai ser ano que vem vai ser a primeira vez que eles vão ter lambic de 1 ano, 2 anos e 3 anos. E vai ser a primeira vez que ele vai conseguir fazer blends de lambic com lambic somente maturado aqui.
How many batch do you do this year?
As paredes.
I saw it on the...
As expected.
Ah, okay.
The last one, 53, so in the other building. So here, for example, the 52. And it will be the maximum. I think
Yes, for the...
more. I hope for in between 55 and 60 with this building, but it will be between 50 and 51,
Yes,
maybe
50,
54. No.
Okay.
Aqui tá a fossa, né? Quando eles querem levar os barris para baixo, eles usam um elevador. A fossa do elevador. Isso aqui parece uma coisa mais nova, construída, né? Justamente para se adequar às exigências da Cantillon. Esse prédio aqui já hospitava uma cervejaria em 1800, no final dos anos de 1800. E agora o Jean comprou, quando ele comprou ele não sabia, quando ele veio ver. Ele não sabia que aqui era uma cervejaria.
There with one barrel still fermenting.
Okay, fantastic.
Olha lá!
It's living.
Tem um barril aqui que ainda está está respirando, está fermentando.
Number 11. That's Lambic magic. So 11 is a brew from probably early December, and so the fermentation starts after 5 months.
Incredible.
That's Lambic. We don't control it, and we don't try to control it.
I will explain you everything during the visit in the book. Only one thing, they asked me the letter Lambic, the season. This is 2016-2017.
Yeah.
And this is the number of the batch. 11.
Daniel,
11. So, and we brewed 53 times. So the season start. I don't remember exactly the first day of November, and we made our last brew 1 month ago.
That's incredible. So, was so lazy.
Donc ça, celui-là, il a mis janvier, février, mars, avril, mai, 5 mois. To start the fermentation. To start the fermentation.
To start. The money will come in 10 years.
Então aqui nós temos alguns barris do Porto. Foi a primeira vez que o Jean tentou usar barris do Porto, mas ele se arrependeu muito, porque são barris velhos, estão com perdas, estão pingando. Então ele se arrependeu muito, ele falou que foi um desastre usar os barris do Porto, justamente porque são muito velhos, desgastados, e ele falou que não vai nem botar cerveja no comércio, talvez. Ele vai pensar ainda se vai botar ou não. Como a gente pode perceber, realmente, né? Tá perdendo muito, né? Dá para perceber pelo chão. Eu perguntei para ele, mas Jean, tá cheio ou tá vazio os barris? Sim, geralmente estão cheios, né? Mas eles perdem tanto, dá pra ver pelo chão, né? Eles perdem tanto que acabam se esvaziando. Olha a cultura aí, a coisa linda. Então, gente, o Kuaska veio aqui correndo e me pediu para fazer um vídeo para mostrar, olha como a cultura está crescendo aqui. Olha o tamanho dessa cultura.
Deixa uma iluminaçãozinha pra ti.
Quase se fosse uma estalacmite, né? Que ficou pingando e as culturas foram crescendo e formou essa estalacmite de levedura. Fantástico, 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 fantástico.
Ele delata bem. Quer que bote uma luz?
Bota uma luz aí.
Olha só o tamanho disso que está saindo desse barril. Fantástico.
And you found it back on online at
Yes.
between 150 and 200. So 10 times the price we asked at the brewery.
And the great man, his father, my second father, Jean-Pierre Valois, when he knew about this, he say a fantastic sentence, a wise man, he say, this is a business between an idiot and a thief. It's true, it's true. This is a popular beverage. This is the girls is for the common people. They transform, they turn in intellectual.
Lambic was for common people.
Sorry,
Guiados
Lambic.
was a bit more expensive.
Yeah,
Guiados
yeah.
was a bit more for people who could buy it. But Lambic was certainly in between War I and War II, and even in the 50s, early 60s, Lambic was the beer for
common
people,
people.
for common people.
And Faro for the kids also. Fantastic word. I remember when I was young, the first younger, I never been younger. I found girls, for example, 10 francs, 10 euro, I invented, 1 euro. Greek 2, and Framboise 10. Framboise was, in France I started to do it, was very, very expensive.
At the beginning, because it was new.
Now there's a good difference between Rosé de Gambrinos and Greek and the price.
We pay the same price for fruits. So
strawberry and raspberry. Fantastic.
And
strawberry, raspberry. Pick cherries and raspberries.
Raspberries.
Strawberries, it's nonsense.
No.
I
I don't like strawberry. Why? There's tradition to use cherry, sour cherry, and raspberry, and not strawberry. There's a reason, no? They are full of strawberry in
Because
Belgium.
strawberries, the fermentation of strawberries is very, very difficult to control. That's and
full of water.
the result, the taste is nice, could be nice, but the smell.
No, the smell
We want to profit to video to say there's an idiot, I say official idiot in Brazil. They wrote that you keep only the dusty bottles in the brewery just for publicity.
Yes.
And then you don't brew in Lugard, in Antwerp, but you brew in Laken.
There is a lot of brewery in Laken. In the King Palace. In the King Palace with King Philip.
So,
King Philip is my
please,
second brewer.
King Philip the second brewer.
Shut up and stop the right bollocks.
Yes. Jean, a few months ago, you make a post on Facebook talking about the stratospheric price of gases from Cantillon, and you make a single example. Some bottles you sell at a very low price to associations and who don't have profits, and somebody take this bottle, put the label there. I see this post, put the label there, and sell in eBay. So stratospheric price. And Jean make this made this post
The crazy
talking about
thing,
this.
The crazy thing, it was a goose.
It's the normally goes you have here.
Yeah. So it was a bottle from
So 2000
2000, if I remember.
Yes, 2007. 2007.
So 10 years. And it was a goose. So in those times we sold goose bottle without label, and for special association group, and so the people leading the association used their own label to label it the beer. But it was a classic goose.
Classic.
And so we are selling for tasting goose from 2007 at the brewery at 20 euro. But there someone was ready to pay 300, 400, 500 euro for such a bottle.
And another things, very sadly to say, and there are people that come to make a black market as well.
Yes, just to make that money.
That's because
But we
it's because of the success.
them.
We don't like that, but we can't complain about it. It's 20 years ago we were complaining because no one was asking for traditional lambic, and now people are fighting for traditional lambic. So.
The worst thing and the sadly thing is they have some people who buy these bottles with this price. So
Yeah, sure. That's
500 euros for a normal bottle from Cantillon, but with a special label, make it at home, homemade.
For a goose bottle.
For a goose bottle.
For a goose bottle. That's we have the other problem. My friend Chris from Murge Moublon, so the famous beer shop in Arlon in the Luxembourg province in Belgium. I made with him a special blend, a special goose blend. So we choose the lambic together, but we made a classic goose. It was a blend from 1, 2, and 3 years. Chris used his own label to sell the beer in his shop. Some people bought classic goose at the brewery with the classic blue Cantillon label. They scrap it, and they made fake label. Yeah, and so they used the same label as Chris, and they sold the beer from 150 euro on internet.
In jail.
I think so.
But it was Cantillon. It was Cantillon, and an American who bought 7 bottles gave me 1 bottle 2 years ago, and so I tasted the beer. It was indeed not the same blend, because the blend I made with Chris was focused on lambic matured in barrels used for the first time. So when we use a lambic for a barrel for the first time, the lambic extracts from the wood all the flavor, the aromas that wood contained previously. And so we focused this blend on the wine flavors. And so the other goose was not the same for sure, but was very, very good as well. So they didn't lose everything, but no, it's in fact we begin to this problem is new for us, but this type of problem exists since decades for wine. So we are living no, it's new, but we are living the same thing that the wine world is living since the 50s or the 60s. Yeah.
These things make me very sad, me and all the people that are keen to the family, to the brewery, because then we visit the brewery. The brewery is full of blood, it's full of personality, action, emotion. Why you think to make these things there? Today, today after the visit, you will be part of the brewery. If you want, you can subscribe also the museum. It's very expensive. It's 10 euros a year.
Se vocês querem, depois da visita da Cantillon, a Cantillon também é um museu e vocês podem se tornar membro do museu, como eu sou membro.
Italia si è offerto, it was offered to translate in Portuguese, ma Jean-Pierre said, not for the moment because there are few Portuguese speaking people. When there are more, you can translate the
E vocês podem se associar ao Museu da Cantillon por 10 euros, vocês vão ser sócios, membros. E quanto mais brasileiros e Portuguese language, people from Portuguese language, se associarem, eu vou poder começar, eu me ofereci para ele para traduzir um livrinho, um editorialzinho que eles sempre mandam para os associados. Então,
it's fantastic. It's the memoir Jean-Pierre is fantastic.
There was after World War II, there was more than 50 breweries and blenders in Brussels, include Lambic, the Brasserie Lambic.
We are in
as I told you,
Anderlecht.
Located in this building. More than 50. In mid-80s, Cantillon was the last one still present. So we lost more than one Lambic brewery a year from War II to the early 80s. And if Cantillon is still active, it's thanks to the museum. So my father and some friends opened the museum in 78. So the museum is the brewery. So people, and you will do it with Lorenzo, are visiting the brewery. But without this ID, this genius ID, Cantillon should certainly disappear as all the other Lambic breweries from the city.
Como é que ele produz a fermentação? Ele passa de um barril para o outro ou ele utiliza já o barril com a levedura?
No, ha chiesto come fa a fermentare, poi parlo ha chiesto come fa a fermentare, se lui passa la botte sempre quando la svuota la riempie ancora.
Quand il vide le tonneau, il le remplit encore.
Oui, ben on le nettoie, but we clean it.
They clean the
We clean it first. So here we are cleaning it with hot water. In the other building we are using steam. We clean it and we place it at the same.
Then we
place
see
it back at the same place,
there.
or we move it and we place it in a. Yeah, no chemical products, never.
Water or steam?
Steam, water, steam, and you will see it in the brewery with a machine cleaning the barrel with chains inside.
Ah,
Yeah.
chain, yes.
Yeah. But no chemical products. Never. No.
You don't to clean too much because in Lambic clean is not good word.
Clean is very important.
I know,
So
I'm
the
kidding,
cleaning
I'm
is very
kidding.
important, but we try to clean as less as possible with chemical products.
Okay.
Yes.
of course.
We
not to change the habit.
We are for example, we are making right now experiments of cleaning with enzymes,
Okay.
and the first results are quite good.
Eles estão fazendo testes para fazer limpezas com enzimas.
Com enzimas.
E que o primeiro teste foi muito bom.
Then the visitor will tell you that there is a romantic point of view. It's true that the fermentation comes from 84 bacteria and wild yeast. But the more important is the habitat, the local habitat. In the Brasserie Cantillon, we're not to touch anything, the spider, the wall, because the habitat. When, for example, you change a tool, only one little nail, the infection in that nail is over. So this is the idea of Jean-Pierre.
We didn't prove it, but I'm quite sure that every building, Lambic building, is playing a role in the natural inoculation. So if we move the brewery Cantillon, for example, even if we build a new brewery across the street, it won't be the same. Sure.
Sure.
Ok.
There are two breweries, then we stop. There are two breweries that were moved from Pajottenland to West Flanders in Saint Louis and Jacobin, and I never understood how they make this is a brewery like Evalt and Van Allen. They move the walls. I don't know what they make. Probably it's marketing. They move the marketing. Okay.
Dai, vamos lá.
We can go.
Okay, we go.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
É pra ir atrás. Não, né?
Vai apagar as luzes, vai apagar as luzes.
Então, depois de visitar a nova location da Cantillon, o nosso grupo agora veio aqui visitar a sala de braçagem da Cantillon. Está todo mundo aqui dando uma olhadinha na sala de braçagem. Jean Van Roy já vai vir receber a gente para comentar um pouco sobre o método de produção, para comentar um pouco. O Kuaska já comentou algumas coisas, mas o Jean vai dar uma incrementada aí daqui a pouco. E agora o nosso grupo está subindo lá para cima para ir na parte dos barris e na parte da fervura. Não, na parte da fervura, na panela de fervura agora. Então agora estamos indo na panela de fervura. Essa aqui é a panela de fervura da Cantillon. É aqui onde se ferve, é aqui onde se coloca o lúpulo velho, obviamente. Trigo também. Cevada e trigo. Aqui, então nós estamos na parte da panela de fervura. Todo o grupo está entusiasmado vendo Kuaska. Então agora nós vamos conhecer aqui na Cantillon, depois de ter visto as panelas de mostura, fervura. Agora a gente vai ver o cool ship, né? O cool ship de resfriamento do mosto. Kuaska já está aqui. Benedica, Kuaska, benedica.
Santo.
Sanctum.
Buon pranzo a tutti. The Pope say always good lunch. Allora, benvenuti in paradiso.
Então o nosso grupo, depois de ter tido uma aula aqui com o Kuaska sobre o resfriamento do mosto da Cantillon, agora nós estamos indo para ver os barris, onde o Lambic fica fermentando e maturando. E aqui então está a cool ship da Cantillon. Vocês podem perceber que tem janelas abertas dos lados das paredes. E vocês podem perceber que não tem forro, né? E vocês estão vendo esses pequenos pontos de luz no telhado. Esses são buracos, são fendas feitas justamente para ter uma circulação de ar. É uma coisa proposital, né? Justamente para resfriar o mosto da Cantillon o mais rápido possível. O mosto chega aqui em cima lá pelas 3h15 da tarde, é uma temperatura de 100 graus, mais ou menos. E fica aqui até o dia seguinte de manhã resfriando. No dia seguinte de manhã, no dia que vocês tiverem a oportunidade de acompanhar, vir bem cedo para cá e virem e observarem a cool ship sendo esvaziada, vocês podem observar que em cima do mosto vai ter uma pequena película já formada, já com as bactérias e as leveduras selvagens instaladas ali. Depois disso, o mosto é praticamente feito cair nesse decantador. Isso aqui é um decantador, tá? E fica aqui mais ou menos uma tarde. Depois de ser decantado, ele vai para os barris de madeira para ser fermentado e maturado. Agora nós vamos então dar uma olhada nos barris, na sala de fermentação e maturação dos barris. Então aqui agora voltando, o nosso grupo está participando agora aqui da expedição aqui dentro da Cantillon. E agora nós estamos justamente nas salas dos barris. E onde o Kuaska vai nos dar uma aula sobre a parte da fermentação e a maturação dos barris da Cantillon. Arriba. Deem uma olhada no barril da Cantillon, que a rolha não está mais... Tá lindo, hein? Tá um espetáculo esse barril. Nosso grupo então teve uma grande sorte Porque no momento que a gente estava visitando a cervejaria, o filho de Jean Van Roy, Florian, está fazendo a filtração depois da primeira fermentação da cric, e o nosso grupo está podendo experimentar uma cric ainda não terminada, uma cric ainda não fermentada, diretamente servida pelo filho de Jean Van Roy, Florian, o sucessor dele, né? A cervejaria quem vai tocar vai ser o Florian no final. E o nosso grupo está podendo degustar a cric diretamente depois da primeira fermentação sendo filtrada. Isso realmente é muito raro, tivemos muita sorte. Eu consegui degustar somente uma vez, quando o próprio Jean Van Roy me entregou um copo, quando eu vim fazer a minha última visitação aqui. Então a nossa equipe, nosso grupo realmente teve uma grande sorte. Fabrício. Então tá aqui a cric é filtrada depois da primeira fermentação, e o nosso grupo está tendo a sorte de poder estar degustando ela. Realmente muito interessante. Então, gente, depois da nossa visita aqui na Cantillon, a gente tem a oportunidade de estar degustando um lambic puro, sem corte, como dá para ver aqui no copo, sem gás nenhum, direto dos barris aqui de cima. Jean Van Roy trouxe aqui para o Kuaska. Kuaska, esse lambic de quantos meses é? De qual barril é?
Yes, after the wonderful visit, with wonderful people, we had the first drink after the visit is 15 months old, straight lambic from the barrel, unblended lambic.
Unblended lambic.
You see, you can smell. There's no your flavor quiet. There's no strong of flavor, typical of flavor. House blanket, a little bit. Lemon, pineapple, purple, and apple, little bit. But the most important is not too aggressive. And one of your flavor is like to be closed in a cellar. It looks to be closed in a cellar. Humidity in the cellar is fantastic. It's like a little sulfur, a little bit. All these words for another beer could be a tragedy. For us, is heaven. Okay, now we taste the beer. The lambic we don't taste separately in the taste buds, but we taste with a technique called mouthfeel. In this way. The beer touch, not the beer. Lambic is not beer. Lambic is game beer. Lambic is lambic in Flemish, and. You can read this in Lambic.